Julius Caesar crosses the Rubicon. Imagine this. You're a Roman general, loved by your soldiers, but the Senate orders you to disband your army and return to Rome. If you obey, you might lose your power. If you refuse, you risk civil war. Julius Caesar refused. In 49 BCE, he crossed the Rubicon River and said, "The die is cast." It was the moment of no return. Yes, he won Rome, but that victory came at a cost, the death of the Republic. His choice opened the door to dictatorship, his own assassination, and the age of emperors. Caesar's regret, maybe not the win itself, but what it meant. Power gave him Rome, but it also ensured he would never die peacefully. Alexander the Great's last march. You've conquered Persia, Egypt, and even reached India. Your empire is massive, but when your soldiers beg to return home, what do? Alexander the Great refused. In 325 BCE, he forced them to march through the Gedrosian desert. It was a nightmare. Thousands died of thirst and exhaustion. By the time survivors came out, Alexander's bond with his army was broken. He himself lived only a few years longer, dying at 32. His empire collapsed almost immediately. Sometimes, the greatest conqueror isn't defeated by an enemy, but by his own refusal to stop. Neville Chamberlain's Peace for Our Time. It's 1938. The world is still scarred from the last war. British Prime Minister Neville Chamberlain is desperate to avoid another. He meets Hitler in Munich and returns waving a paper declaring peace for our time. But it was appeasement. He gave up Czechoslovakia, hoping it would satisfy Hitler. Instead, it encouraged him. Within a year, Poland was invaded, and World War II began. Chamberlain's choice is remembered not for peace, but as a warning. Trusting a tyrant only delays the fight and makes it worse. King George III and the colonies. You're the king of the strongest empire on earth, but across the ocean, your colonies are restless. George III's mistake? Pushing harder, more taxes, more laws. And when rebellion started, instead of compromise, he chose force. The result was the American Revolution. Protest became war. War became independence, and soon a new nation was born. By refusing to bend, George lost Britain's greatest colony and changed global power forever. His regret, thinking 13 ragtag colonies could never win. Spoiler, they did. Napoleon's Russian Winter. You're at the peak of power. Almost all of Europe bows to you, and then you look east, toward Russia. In 1812, Napoleon decided to invade. It felt bold, maybe even unstoppable. But he made one mistake. He ignored the power of winter. His grand army marched in with 600,000 men. Fewer than 100,000 came back. Not because of one big battle, but because of hunger, freezing cold, and Russia's scorched earth strategy, burning everything as they retreated. That single choice didn't just kill his army, it shattered his image of being unbeatable. Within 3 years, Napoleon was exiled to a lonely island in the Atlantic. The haunting part? His dream of glory in the East destroyed his empire in the West. The Trojan horse. Legend or history, the story still stings. The Trojans' fatal mistake? Pulling a giant wooden horse inside their walls. Gift or trap? We know the answer. Greek soldiers hidden inside, gates opened at night, and Troy burning by morning. Whether true or myth, the lesson is timeless. The worst decisions often come disguised as gifts.